has to grow out of the mindset that Europe's problems are the world's problems. But the world's problems are not Europe's problems. The world cannot be that Eurocentric as it used to be in the past. Look, I don't think we're sitting on the fence just because I don't agree with you.
Hello everyone, Krishna here, and let's be honest, before 2020, how many of us actually cared about foreign policy? Most of us only heard about it during some big war or UN drama. It sounded too serious and too boring. But then came this man, Dr. S. Jaishankar, and suddenly foreign policy became cool. He's not a celebrity, not a cricketer, and not even a politician in the usual sense. He's calm, super logical, and when he talks, even world leaders stops to listen. He made it clear for him and for India, India comes first. And the best part is Gen Z actually loves him because he's not just talking about India being powerful, he shows it with facts and confidence. So, who is Dr. H. Jaishankar really? He's not from a political family, he's a career diplomat. Joined the Indian Foreign Service way back in 1977. Worked in some of the most powerful capitals in the world like Washington, Moscow, Tokyo, and even Beijing, and saw how international politics really works. In 2019, when PM Modi made him India's foreign minister, people were shocked because diplomats usually don't jump into politics. But that's exactly why it worked. He's not here for political drama, he's here to get things done. And within no time, he became the face of a confident India on the global stage. You have probably heard this line from him: we will do what is in our national interest. That's not just a statement, it's his entire foreign policy summed in one statement. When the Russia Ukraine war began, the West started pressuring India to stop buying oil from Russia. And Jaishankar's response was, if I am getting oil at a cheaper rate and it helps my citizens, why shouldn't I buy it? He reminded the world that Europe continued buying Russian gas quietly while telling India to stop. And that movement changed everything. India wasn't being defensive anymore, it was standing tall. And do you guys remember that viral moment when a European journalist asked, why is India buying oil from Russia? Jaishankar just smiled and said, you buy more oil from Russia in one afternoon than we do in a whole month. Silence, just silence, no anger but just facts. That's Jaishankar's style. He doesn't shout, he dismantles the arguments piece by piece. He also told Europe bluntly that Europe has to grow out of the mindset that Europe problems are the world's problems, but the world's problems are not Europe's problems. That sentence alone flipped the entire Western narrative. For the first time, India wasn't playing defense, it was setting the terms. Even with the US, he didn't hold back. When American officials criticized India for buying oil from Russia, Jaishankar pointed out that the US itself was buying Russian fertilizers, uranium, and palladium. So, yeah, everyone looks out for their people. He basically said, don't expect India to feel guilty for doing the same thing you're doing. No aggression, no anger, just pure clarity. That's why the world respects him even when they disagree. They know he's speaking with logic, not with ego. That calm aggression, that's what makes him different. He represents a new India, the one that talks less, but when it speaks, the world listens. Now, here is what interesting. Gen Z, who actually scrolls past anything political, actually watches his interviews. Why? Because he talks with sense. He's sharp, confident, and has zero patience for hypocrisy. When a journalist once said India was sitting on the fence, he replied, we are not sitting on the fence, we are sitting on a ground. And that line broke the internet. He's cool without trying to be. He represents exactly what young Indians want: brains, balance, and backbone. Not loud nationalism, but smart patriotism. And now let's look at the facts. Under Jaishankar, India has balanced ties with Russia and the West without taking any side. Strengthened Quad partnership with the US, Japan, and Australia. Managed major evacuations from Afghanistan, Ukraine, South Sudan quickly and safely. Build strong links with Africa and Latin America. New friends, new opportunities. Became the voice of global South, standing up for developing nations. And during India's G20 presidency, even world powers admitted India handled it like a pro. That's not just diplomacy, that's leadership. Jaishankar once said, if you are clear about who you are and what you stand for, others will deal with you accordingly. That's him. Straightforward, confident, and no drama. He doesn't try to sound powerful, he just is. Because when you know your value, you don't need to prove it. And under him, India's message to the world is loud and clear. We are not here to follow anyone's script, we are writing our own. For decades, India's foreign policy used to be cautious. Now it's confident. The world used to tell India what to do. Now it asks what India thinks. And a huge part of that change is because of Dr. A. Jaishankar, the man who turned logic into India's loudest voice, the man who showed that respect isn't demanded, it's earned by clarity and conviction. So, next time you hear him calmly shut down a reporter or a world leader, remember, he's not just speaking as a minister, he's speaking for 1.4 billion Indians and saying it proudly: India will decide for India.